The NBA Annual General Conference was a huge success. The General Conference, which was held in Lagos today, was successful as Shettima represented Tinubu, Atiku and Obi came for themselves. Well, as you all can see, just as expected, this is what we've been talking about. Obi is really the man of the moment, and I don't think anybody can take it away from him. Definitely, he outshined everybody at the conference. Both Atiku and Shettima wasn't even recognized. You need to see how Obi was ushered in with a loud shout from the audience when his name was mentioned. Yesterday was really a plus for Peter Obi and the Labour Party because it shows how Obi is being loved. This man is being loved anywhere he goes. And even at that, they will still tell you Obi doesn't have a structure. But please, if I may ask, which other structure do we need? Okay, let's assume today was an election day and people in that place was asked to vote. Don't you think Obi will emerge as the winner? Because almost the crowd there is shouting Obi. Could you imagine when Shettima was called, nobody noticed him? That is to show you that everything is turning around for Obi, or rather in Obi's favor. And it didn't stop there. When he finished his speech, the lawyers were all over him trying to snap pictures with him. Nobody even noticed Atiku and Shettima. This is to show you that Obi is the man of the people, a man everybody can relate with, a man that has Nigeria at heart. Okay guys, enough of the talk. Let's go into what really happened yesterday, and how they presented their speech on their plans for Nigerians and what they would do for Nigerians if they are elected as the president. Okay guys, the presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party PDP Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, All Progressive Congress APC Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and Labour Party LP Mr. Peter Obi yesterday articulated what they would do if elected, though Tinubu was represented by his vice. The trio spoke as guest speakers at the Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference NBA NGC holding in Lagos, which also had an attendance the presidential candidate of African Democratic Party Mr. Demobi Kachiku, Social Democratic Party Adewole Adebayo, and the All Progressive Grand Alliance Peter Umedi. Although Tinubu was represented by his running mate Kashim Shettima, Atiku Abubakar Obi and others presidential candidates were physically present. Okay, let's read out the article's promises to Nigeria. He said, speaking at the conference, Atiku said he would hand over federal government-owned universities to state government. Atiku, who stated this as a panelist at the opening ceremony of the conference with the theme Bold Transitions, said the government doesn't have infinite resources to continue to shoulder the cost of university education in the country, especially against the backdrop of the ongoing strike of the Academic Staff Union of the universities, ASU, which had been on for over 6 months. The only way is make sure that you make conducive environment available for both foreign and local investors to participate in our country, whether it is infrastructure, education, or power. I had an argument with a university professor from the Federal University, Lokoja. He said he read in my policy documents that I intended to devolve, in other words, to return education to the state. How dare do I do that? I said, Mr. Professor, do you realize that the first set of our university belongs to the regional government? He said, yes. I said, who are the successors of the regional government? He said, the states. I said, the children you sent to America, to England, who own those universities, mostly the private sectors. So why is it that you think we cannot do it here? We don't have the money. He also said one of his major goals in vying for the 2023 general election was to unite Nigeria to fight insecurity. Atiku, who noted that Nigerians had never been in Nigerians had never been this divided in history. Uniting Nigeria remains one of his five-fold plans for the country. He said, since the return of democracy, Nigeria has never been in such critical situation as we find ourselves now. The problem of poverty, insecurity, unemployment, etc. are numerous, but what is important is how to tackle them. When the PDP came into power in 1999, despite winning overwhelmingly across the country, we decided to include members of other parties in our leadership. That singular action united the country and resulted in calm. I believe we can have that experience again. It is only when we have a sense of belonging that we can deal with insecurity. Atiku also said he would abolish the multiple exchange rate of and devolve more powers to the states if elected president. Okay, that was Atiku's words. Okay, let's bring to you what Shatima had to say. Tinubu will replicate Lagos Borno wonders in Nigeria, Shatima said. On his part, we read, Shatima, who represented Bola Tinubu at the conference, said his principal will replicate the wonders in Lagos and Borno State if elected. The former governor of Borno State disclosed that he built some of the best schools in the state during his tenure, adding that Tinubu administration will address issues of the economy and security among others. He said Nigerians have the capacity to see through the worn-out rhetoric and sophistry of pretentious politicians. Nigerians should follow the man that knows the road. From day one, we will hit the ground running. We will promptly address the issue of the economy, ecology, and security. We have the attendants. I built some of the best schools in Nigeria. Go to Borno and see wonders. You will never believe that it is a state in that state of war. So we are going to replicate our achievement in Lagos, in Borno, and some of their frontline states so that our nation will be better placed. The fundamental issue is pure leadership, Shatima said. Okay. And the man of the moment came on stage and he said 2023 election not about religion, tribe, but character, competence. That is Obi talking. In Obi's presentation, Mr. Peter Obi said 2023 election will not be about religion or tribe, but character and competence in leadership. He said Nigeria is a mess. We got here simply because of our cumulative effect of bad leadership. The coming election is not about tribe, religion, but about character and competence. We need a bold transition from a highly insecure state to a highly secured state. Obi stated that his approach to tackle the worsening exchange rate problem in country will be to encourage manufacturing and export of goods and services. Simple and short, with sense. Man of the movement, carry go, Joe. CGN Sanwo-Olu others canvass reform of judicial system. Okay, others who spoke said Nigeria in disarray, need heroes. Chimamanda Adichie, in her keynote address titled Bold Transition, Ms. Adichie noted that Nigeria is currently in a disarray and in their need of heroes to give her purposeful leadership. She stated that the rising insecurity the country is a fundamental problem of the failure of the rule of law. Adichie, who also noted that MBA has a greater role to play in the success of the forthcoming general election in the country, said, We are counting on the NBA to act collective social conscience in the forthcoming election in 2023. Nigeria is in disarray. Things are hard and getting harder by the day. We can't be safe when there is no rule of law. Nigerians are starved of heroes to look up to. Late Dora Akunyele and Gani Gawehimi were heroes that Nigeria looked up to before now. Unfortunately, the era has gone. I believe that NBA is in a position to give the nation heroes that we can look up to, lead the nation. As long as we refuse to untangle the knot of injustice, peace cannot thrive. If we don't talk about it, we fail to hold leaders accountable, and we turn what should be transparent system into ugly opaque courts. My experience made me think there is something dead in us, in our society, a death of self-awareness, an ability for self-criticism. There is need for resurrection. We cannot avoid self-criticism, but criticize the government. We cannot hide our institutional failure while demanding for transparency from the government. Adichie advocated an uncorrupted judicial system and called on the NBA to leverage technology in the judicial process and the administration of justice in the country. Nigerians are delusional because they know of the decline of professionalism in some section of the legal profession. As the NBA continues to fight the abuse of power, it must also look inward, not to be corrupted. Okay guys, thanks for staying tuned. These are the outcomes of what happened yesterday. As you can see for yourself, it was a huge success, not only for Nigerians, but for the Labour Party Peter Obi, because he gained more recognition yesterday. Okay guys, the comment section is open. Let's meet there and rub minds. Because this time around, whether they want it or not, Nigeria must be better. If you're a youth and you're listening to me, this is the time to tell this present government and the old people that have been ruling us that we are the majority and we are the structure, and we are here to take the power back from them. Because this nonsense can't continue. We can't continue to live like this. So Obi is the future, which you and I can say. Because anywhere this man steps his foot in, everything changes. The environment will change. So let us try and vote wisely this time around. Okay guys, thank you and God bless you. If you're new to this channel, please do us a favor and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell so you get our latest videos as we drop them.